What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed, and I'm here today to, of course, provide you with some opportunities for next week, things that I am looking at in the market. But first, I did want to address some of the things that a lot of YouTubers have been talking about lately, and that's the pump and dump phenomena, this overhyping of stocks, and we're going to look back at the track record of the things that I've talked about on my channel and how they've done, because I think that's fair. Now, before I do that, I want to say thank you, guys. We did reach 11,000 subscribers. We're growing just rapidly and exponentially. So again, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in, and especially for those of you who have been joining in the live streams. I've done a couple so far, and we've had a lot of fun actually discussing some of your stock picks. So tune into those. I'll try to do them a couple times a week, maybe drop down to or increase it to maybe 2 or 3 times. Right now, I've done it twice this past week. So yeah, just tune in if you guys can. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So if you want to fact check any of the things I talk about today, please go to my video tab and scroll back all the way to when I started all this, about beginning of December. So I went back and watched each video clip and identified the buy or target price that I had for each one, or most of them I should say. I could tell I already missed one, VGAC I didn't mention. So we'll look at the Excel sheet and the track record so far, because I think it's fair. Once you guys are subscribing to someone, listening to what a person has to say about stocks, you should be able to look at what picks have they made so far. And again, none of this is financial advice. What I do here is tell you guys the stocks I am buying because of the potential that I see in them, and I show you kind of the evidence behind why I think there's some future in place for them. So let's go ahead and look at the stocks. BFT, I'll go through each one that I have on the Excel sheet. BFT, my buy price, and I made a video on it, was at $12.70, went up 48% since we discussed it. Because again, PaySafe, overall, just a fantastic company that they're merging with. Again, it is a SPAC, so it was kind of more speculative back then. But once information leaked about the merger, that's when I decided to make a video on it, and people started buying in. TPGY, up 7.7%, nothing too significant. NEO, talked about it at $41, up 48%. Mentioned it after the delisting scare and some direct offerings. People started freaking out, and I said, guys, this is a buying opportunity. I'm loading up, and maybe you should too. NNDM, after another direct offering, I told everyone, I said, I think that this has some strong potential, so let's look into maybe buying in, up 137% since that video. GIX, unfortunately, hasn't been seeing much movement with Cloudbreak and the thing that they're trying to do with the healthcare space, but again, up 2% since the video, nothing too significant. NGA, Northern Genesis acquisition, merging with Lion Electric, one of our biggest anticipated electric vehicle SPAC mergers. Again, Q1, so sometime the next couple months, as soon as next week, who knows, but oftentimes towards the end of Q1 they'll merge with the SPAC, up 63% since the video. THCB, Tuscan Holdings, very excited about their merger with Microvest. All we have is a letter of intent. We saw it run up to $17 after the video was made, but now came down to $15, $18 because people are starting to worry. Where is the SPAC merger? Where's the definitive agreement? We have a letter of intent, so we're still waiting. Up 15% since we've discussed still, but again, it ran up to $17 and we were up significantly more. And I know people took profits because again, all we have is a letter of intent, and with SPACs we need a minimum of a definitive agreement to be comfortable to stay in the position. But I'm holding because I think it's going to happen. Open, so again, it was when it was still IPOD, I want to say, Chamath SPAC. He merged to make Open Door a public company. Again, up 6% since the video. Look into the video that I made. Look into Open Door. Again, it's kind of disrupting the house selling market, and a way to kind of get your house sold within 24 hours, basically, of listing it. And the company itself buys your house and resells it, etc., etc. Fuel cell, FCEL, 1113 when I made the video. Again, hydrogen fuel cell company. Very excited because they're looking at the manufacturing, installing their technology at manufacturing sites, not in vehicles. So makes it a little different. Up 61%. Plug Power at 35.17, up 87% since we talked about it. Danimer Scientific. It's funny because a lot of people questioned me and they were saying, I was talking a lot about electric vehicles and these different SPACs, but Danimer Scientific, when it was still a SPAC, I mentioned it on the channel and I said, guys, especially with the Biden presidency that is coming up, I see some significant potential in this company. And guess what? To all of those who decided to maybe look into the company, do their own DD and invest some money into it, you made a 72% return on your investment. That is just fantastic, because again, I truly think it's a biodegradable plastics company, and I think we're just getting started with this one. So keep an eye out. If you see a pullback that's significant enough, maybe you'll find a good entry point and a buying opportunity for this company. Again, ticker symbol DNMR. JAGX, again, somewhat controversial. Early pharmaceutical company. We talked about it at $1.78. It's in early stages. So again, they do have a product in place, but we're looking at a SPAC merger, other news that's surrounding it, up 84% since we talked about it. Zomedica, again, part of this whole pump and dump phenomena. We talked about this one a couple weeks ago at this point. And guess what? Oftentimes when we see a pump and dump phenomena, something goes up and it comes right back down days later. If you wanted to take profits in anything that I've talked about so far, and if you invested at the same time as I did, it makes sense to do so because you're significantly up on your positions. Now, Zomedica, 97 cents, up 106% since we talked about it. How amazing is that? CCIV, Lucid Motors. I talked about the rumors. I said I'm going to buy in, guys, 14.15, and that's the price I literally bought in at, up to 23.40 now. As of last Friday at market close and aftermarket, 65% increase. That's 65% return on your investment. CTRM, 37 cents when I talked about it. Again, it was one of those, I said it's probably a get in and get out because of trade volume. I didn't really get too interested in the company. I made it a side part of a video, not really a main video. So again, up 10, almost 11% on the play. Mara, with everything that goes up, some things must go down. That's the reality of the stock market. I can't have a 100% track record, or I wouldn't be a working man because I would just trade stocks for a living and make a killing off that. But again, we are in a bull market, and that's another thing we need to address, guys. A lot of the picks that I've chosen on my channel specifically, yes, they're innovative companies. They're companies I believe in long term, but we're in a bull market, so the majority of stocks are doing well. Yes, we saw some industries get hit hard, and those are the ones that I've been trying to avoid, but others, unfortunately, have been more volatile, and we did see some decreases. So Mara, that's the cryptocurrency mining company. It was actually controversial. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to make a video on it, but I did. And since the video was published, I bought in because we saw that $4 decrease from 25. It was at 27 high, 2160s where I decided I want an entry point and make a video on it. And now, unfortunately, we did see it pull back even more, down 16% since the start of the video. I'm not too worried. Again, you never lose money on a stock unless you sell it. So I'm holding tight. BHTG, we talked about it, BioHightech, $1.43, made the video. We're at $1.89, so up 32%. And again, long-term hold for me. I'm not selling next week. I'm not selling next month. I'm holding long because I think in the next 4 years, we're going to see some significant price action. If again, all the things that the Biden administration plans with renewables and the energy sector come to place and fall into place, I should say, very exciting for me. OBSV. Guys, another one that has been kind of talked about quite a bit. Talked about it at the $4.05 range, up about 5.6% since we spoke about it on the channel. The only reason I'm doing this, guys, is I want you to know, and I want to do this periodically, maybe every month, maybe every few months, just so people know, what is this Europop guy about? What is he doing? Feel free to join the Discord, by the way. A lot of these picks, yes, this was before I made a Discord and before my channel really started doing well, but these bottom ones here, this is when, things kind of went more, I don't know, I guess just the channel started doing a lot better. So we'll go again to OBSV. And then lastly, Express. Another one that people were like, what are you doing? You're just falling into the hype. At $1.49, again, that was after it was in the, 90 cent range, 80 cent, I'm not sure. It did have a run up, but I said 140 million bailout for this company. I think there's some potential. It's at 230 now, up 54% in the last 2 weeks. So again, things that you could take profits in for sure. I think, if you're up this much in any stock, up 20, 30, 40, 50%, you can always sell. If you're not long on it, or if you just want to, make some money in the stock market, sure, it makes sense to do so. But for me, I want to look at these a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, especially some of these companies like NEO, Danimer Scientific, JAGX, even Zomedica, like THCB. A lot of these early SPACs, BFT, I think these are going to look like very silly current prices to what they will be in the future. And that's why I invest into these companies. I'm not a day trader. So our average position, our average increase in the last month and a half for anyone who's been following the journey, if you put in $100 in each of these companies, you're at 47% total, 47% return on investment. Is that the best? Nope. Is that better than S&P 500 index funds? Yep. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. For myself, I'm very happy with the returns. But again, there's room for growth. I've made mistakes. I picked stocks that obviously didn't do well, negative 16% on Mara. One I didn't mention was VGAC. I talked about it at $11, and we're at 14 some now, so up 30% or so. That was one of my early my early videos I did really well. I think it was like my first over 3,000 viewed videos. So a lot of people started realizing, yes, Richard Branson is all about it. The Virgin Orbit rumors, of course, hit the area, so people were talking about it quite a bit. But again, guys, I am sharing this with you not to tell you, oh, please, follow me, buy what I'm buying, because no. I'm just saying some of the companies I've mentioned so far on the channel have done well. So please do a deep dive after I make a video. Do your own research. Your due diligence is the most important thing you can do, because this is your money, and I don't want you to, be upset if you lose any money in the stock market. Because a lot of these places that are green currently had red days. I've lost money in some of these, but I didn't sell because I thought, if I hold on longer, it's going to do well over time. And guess what it did? Danimer Scientific, 22.93 when I talked about it. It dropped down to maybe 18, but now it's at 39. So let's remember what we're doing. Be careful in the stock market when you're purchasing stocks. But without further ado, I do also want to just touch on. Let me just go back here. Earnings for next week. So some of the biggest anticipated earnings for next week for me are Apple, Boeing, and Tesla. So if you go into the earnings calendar here on markets.businessinsider.com, if you click on the website, you can directly go inside and look what earning reports are coming out when, which day of the week, and usually even time if you go into the details. So we see tomorrow, there's some on there. Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark is probably going to actually do well. But yeah, again, you can go in there and kind of look at Microsoft on Tuesday, Visa, Johnson & Johnson, some big things. Again, they're developing the COVID vaccine, but nothing out currently. So again, maybe nothing too significant. Apple, Tesla, Facebook. Wednesday is the biggest anticipated day for me. So again, keep this on your radar. Go into this before. I know a lot of people are going to put out call options. For me, I'm not an options guy. I just buy into a company long term. That's usually my investment strategy. If I believe in their technology and I believe in their vision, their management, and what they have planned, what problems they're solving in the future. Abbott Laboratories, so some pharmaceutical companies. But so yeah, guys, keep these on your radar. As I mentioned, Apple, it looks to me like, again, a lot of the hype about how well they did Q4 already kind of made the stock go up almost in the last 5 days. Geez, from its bottom, let's see, it's up. Yeah, almost 10%, 9.4%. That's a lot for Apple in just 5 days. So be careful with your investments. Pay attention. Realize that something's already priced in. Like this quarter, or the earnings that are coming out next Wednesday might be already priced in. So maybe wait for a pullback. But again, Apple's something you should be long on. $2.3 trillion company, and it's not slowing down. Look at the 5-year. 5 years ago, some people were saying it's overpriced. Look how much we're up, 471%. Boeing, this is the one that I want to put on my radar to maybe buy in. Hasn't made a recovery fully after the pandemic. Peaked at $440, came down to about 95 the midst of the pandemic, came back up. Actually, was going to make a video at 140, but I never did because I was like, this seems a little low. But again, since then we saw it run up to 232 and came back down to about 205, 206 in the aftermarket. Keep Boeing on your radar, guys, for next week. I think we might see some potential price increase in their stock. And of course, our favorite, the baby of all babies, the behemoth at this point, is Tesla. We know how Tesla's been doing the last 5 days, been running sideways. It's up a couple percent the last 5 days. In the month from its all-time high, 880, we saw a decrease. And we know there's some big anticipation for this Q4 earnings because they released some of the information about how many cars they've sold. So guys, another one to keep on your radar. And as always, invest carefully. Please pick companies that you truly believe in, not because a person made a video on them, because I'm not here to, give you guys the stocks to buy. Rather, I am telling you some stocks that I believe in myself. And if you believe in them too, not a bad idea to invest in them maybe. So as always, everyone, until next time, keep investing.